In this example, we've got a senior class that's made up of 200 students. Some of those students are varsity athletes. We've got 74 seniors who are varsity athletes. Some of those seniors are on the honor roll. However, of course, there are students who are on both of those. And so what I need to do is remember that this is not a disjoint example. There are some overlap here. And so using our formula from before when we dealt with situations that were not disjoint, I'm going to remember that I have to add the two individual parts together, but then subtract the overlap. So let's go ahead and see if we can use this model down here to set up an equation to figure out how many students, or rather what's the probability of finding a student that's on both a varsity sport and on honor roll. So let's see what we've got here. Oops, I missed one number. There's 113 students on one of the other. There's on either one. So let's set this up as our OR. There's 113 students out of 200 that are on one or the other. And so that OR is going to be equal to the students who are on one of the, who are on varsity athletes, so 74 out of 200, plus there's 51 who are on honor roll. However, there's some overlap between those. There's some that are on both, and that's what I don't know this time. And so I need to make sure I subtract off that overlap. So again, here's my OR, how many students are on one or the other. Here's how many students are on varsity alone. Here's how many are on honor roll alone, and I want to make sure I subtract off the and. Well, I suppose I could have done this without the 200 in the bottom, which I guess would have made it easier to subtract. But at this point, I'm just going to use a calculator and subtract each of these numbers from 113 over 200. So subtracting both of those, and then, or actually that would leave me with a negative answer of negative 0.06, but that's okay because that would be equal to negative x. You can go ahead and take out a calculator and double check that for me. So dividing both sides by -1 gets me 0.6 equal to x. Remember, x stood for the probability that the students are on both varsity sports and on honor roll. If I change that back to a percentage, then I get a probability of 6% that they're on both.